Rarely has a major character had a death as perfunctory as Jack Dutton in 1923, but actor Brian Connell is confident fans will soon see the masterful vision behind the shocking scene. Connell plays Clyde, the livestock agent who shot Jack, Darren Mann, point blank after getting the go-ahead to wreak havoc on the Duttons from their enemy, Banner. While Jack was far from the only life lost in Season 2, Episode 6, which could charitably be called a bloodbath, his will certainly have the most impact on the Dutton family. Taylor Sheridan has been brutal to the Duttons in his Yellowstone prequel series, each of which has seen more than its fair share of family members die before the end credits. But with 2 episodes to go in 1923 Season 2, Jacob, Harrison Ford, and Cara, Helen Mirren, are ready to fight back, especially as their nephew Spencer, Brandon Sklenar, reaches his final destination to avenge the earlier death of his brother. Clyde may have been trigger-happy when it came to Jack, but he's surely about to get a taste of his own medicine when Spencer learns what is done. Screen Rant interviewed Connell about how he reacted to being the one to kill Jack, which he called a gift from Sheridan, and how the final episodes will play out as a consequence of his actions. The actor also praised his co-star Darren Mann's sportsmanlike behavior and Sheridan's command of emotional beats in the 1923 narrative. Brian Connell teases where 1923 goes next after Episode 6's major death. The fans will not be disappointed. It cannot be overstated that Spencer's arrival is bound to change everything. Banner even underscored that point when he and Donald Whitfield sent their men to await Spencer at the train station. Clyde and Alec were told to kill Spencer first, after which they were free to rain fire on the Duttons at large, assuming they would be defenseless without their ace shooter. What happens now that Clyde took that as carte blanche to shoot Jack dead before his uncle's imminent arrival? During our interview, Connell explained that Clyde's reasoning was sound. May as well get a head start, is what Clyde said. But naturally, Spencer is not going to let that stand. He was already fired up before reaching Bozeman, and now there is a fresh family member to avenge. I can't say much, but it's about to get crazy. That's what I'll say, Connell teased. It's going to get good. It's going to heat up the fans. The fans will not be disappointed, and I'm very excited. Darren Mann didn't take his death scene too poorly. While the Jack Dutton actor was disappointed, he reacted with grace. Jack gravely holds Elizabeth in 1923. Despite knowing that he was going to catch some heat for killing Jack Dutton, Connell was more than grateful when he received the fantastic script. When I read it, I was sitting there with my wife Heather, who's sworn to secrecy with an NDA. I go, "You've got to read this. Oh my God, the fans are going to despise me. This is awesome." Though Connell called the scene a gift from Taylor as an actor, he acknowledged that it was difficult to film from a technical perspective. You're riding a horse, firing a gun, doing an accent, and you want to be there in the scene and be able to do the acting, he said, breaking down the various facets that went into making it such a memorable moment. The horses were especially tricky because they have a personality of their own, and the characters had to gallop into frame. Nevertheless, it was an awesome day on set, and Darren was fantastic. As for Mann himself, Connell shared the first moment he and his co-star interacted after reading the fateful moment between them. "When I first saw Darren in Texas, he was like, 'Oh, man, you killed me,'" the actor revealed. "I said, 'I'm sorry,' and he was like, 'Nah, it's going to be great.' But having Mann's blessing doesn't mean he'll receive the fans' forgiveness so quickly. Darren's character is so beloved," Connell acknowledged. "There's no one who wants to get into that fight more than Jack. He's like, 'Let's go, let's go.' But that enthusiasm for the fight without the proper training to back it up is a cautionary tale all on its own, and Sheridan doesn't do things without reason. For Clyde to just take him down in cold blood without even letting him get his pistol out? That's the genius of Taylor Sheridan. He is not afraid to just rip it right from under you." How Brian Connell views Clyde in the grand scheme of 1923. He's fighting for his livelihood and his way of life. Clyde, Brian Connell, wearing a cowboy hat and a badge in 1923 Season 2, Episode 5. Screen Rant, how does it feel to be working for Evil Incarnate? What is he fighting for, and does he ever hesitate in what he has to do? Screen Rant, and he certainly showed no hesitancy or mercy in Episode 6 when he just shoots poor Jack Dutton point blank. Brian Connell, that's right, he's absolutely cold. Just psychopathic with no emotion. He's got this badge and has been running around town, so I think he's just been itching to get into the fight. Now that he's got permission from Banner to go full tilt, he is Evil Incarnate. I think he does become Evil Incarnate. Brian Connell reveals his favorite 1923 scenes and Taylor Sheridan TV shows. "I would just be happy to work with Taylor in any capacity." Screen Rant, do you have a favorite scene that you have filmed for 1923? And what about it made it special to you? Brian Connell, without question, it's this scene. And my scene from Season 1 with Helen Mirren. Just because here I am, going mano a mano with two masters in the room. And I had most of the dialogue, so that was just fun. Helen's fantastic, and Robert Patrick, who plays Sheriff William McDowell, is fantastic. It's actually a hard choice because working with Jerome, whom I work with a lot, is fantastic too. Every scene I've gotten to appear in, I'm with a legend who is super good at what they do, so it is just an honor to be with them. But the Helen scene was really great, and I love getting to see the arc of Clyde come around and be just a full-tilt killer. I love westerns, so as an actor, I love getting to bring it all together and have a badge, be a lawman, be a dirty double-crossing villain, and get to take out one of the greatest leads on the show. Screen Rant, you have to deal with accents, gun work, and the actual mindset of the character in 1923. What would you say has been the most valuable lesson that you've taken from working in this universe? Brian Connell, first of all, preparation. You definitely have to be prepared. Everyone's super prepared because it allows you to free yourself up and really be in the moment for this scene. Every time you ride in, the horse might be in a slightly different position. There are woods and cameras, so you have to use muscle memory to be able to control the horse, know what you're doing, and really be tuned in. The scene with Darren had him coming out of the woods. We have to find him and just be in it, knowing that Clyde is just going to take him out. You can see how excited I am by it.